All right, evening, everybody. Just waiting for some more persons to join the class, okay? Because there are 47 students in the class and only 10 are here now. So we need to get at least 15 to 20 persons before I begin, okay? If we don't get that by about 5:15 thereabout, then I'll start. All right, evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Um,
Sir.
I think in the last class we looked at, what were we looking at in the last class? Can somebody remind me?
Integral citation and non-integral citation, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, so we looked at integral citation and non-integral citation, and I did say that there must be evidence of it in your sentence outline as well. Well, if there's evidence of it in your outline, then it would be in your essay. Okay, so one, there needs to be one example of integral citation and one example of non-integral citation. All right, so that's the first thing. I think we also started, some persons were trying to create their Turnitin account. Am I correct when I say you guys are supposed to create your Turnitin account?
Yes, sir.
Right, so let me now check to see how many persons actually went ahead, because all students must be on the platform. Which email did I use though? That's another thing. I think this is it. Okay, you guys are SC. So, okay, so a lot of persons are here now. So I'm seeing Kanaya Anderson, Marisha Bailey, Sherrian Bartley, Clovin Daniel, Santana Davis, Rohanna Earl, Tanisha Gale, Kimani Grant, Tajay Green, Tevon Jackson, Marshall Lamont, Anika Mirage, Shannon Melbourne, Leroy Morris, Gideon Morris, Shanae Nugent, Donnet Ramsey, Abigail Robinson, Dave Simpson, Brittany Smith, Rashidia Smith, Samantha Smith, Shanika Thompson, Tony and Townsend, Felicia Watson. Sorry, I did tell you that I have the flu, so my apologies about coughing. Is there anybody whose name I did not call?
Sir, my name was not called. Maybe it's because I wasn't at class. I wasn't able to make it.
I think I shared the link in the WhatsApp group. I shared the link and the, let me just, I know I did, but I'm still double checking. I shared the link. Right, so if you go in the WhatsApp group, Miss Masters, you're going to see something called class created. It has the class ID and the enrollment key. Below that, there are two links that you can use. So the YouTube link is what you're going to use to create your Turnitin account, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's in the WhatsApp group, yes, because I double checked.
Okay, sir.
All right, Kevon Bailey, I don't think I've ever called your name. Mr. Bailey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
Uh, is this your first class? I don't remember calling your name.
No, this is not my first course. No, I didn't cross my name though.
So how many classes have you been to? Because I even though I don't know everybody, I know the names though. I don't remember your name. Are you in any working in any group for this paper, for this course?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been in a lot of classes. So.
Okay, all right, I could be mistaken. And as well as Janice Wees. I don't know if it's Wees or Wise. I'm not sure which of the two. Wees, okay. Miss Wees, I know you're in the class, but I don't know that I see you very often. That much I think I can say that I don't see you very often. Are you working in a group, working on your assignment or assignments, I should say?
No, sir. No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, I just get back a device.
Mm-hmm. So you are not able to access anything at all? Well, the recordings are on YouTube, so for the most part, the last one is not there, but the other ones are there, so you need to play some more to catch up. All right. So today again we are going to, I don't know if I done this lecture with you guys. I did it with the other class. So it's when I was teaching at the University of the West Indies, we usually teach this as a part of academic writing, where we help you to we show you, send you in different directions in terms of where you can actually find sources. I don't know if I had done this with you. Are you seeing this? This seems to be seeing this for the first time. Are you seeing this for the first time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that means I did it with the other class, but not this class. Okay. All right, so we might start there. We're going to start there. And remember that you should be working on your sentence outline. I'm going to revisit the sentence outline today again in terms of introduction and various parts of the outline, and then you're going to upload. Remember that you have to upload on Saturday, your first draft, okay? So before I even do this, let me just direct you to Turnitin and show you where you're going to upload your assignment. Okay. Okay, here we are. Where is Turnitin? Yeah, here it is. Okay, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, so it says sentence outline first draft, due January 15, okay? Which is here. So only one person from the group should upload. So you need to decide who is going to upload. If more than one person uploads, the paper is going to be flagged for plagiarism, okay? So only one person from the group should upload. The draft should have your ID numbers. Your names do not need to be on the assignment, okay? It just needs to have your ID number. Okay, everybody understands that? Ensure that the name of the course is on it, the course code is on it, my name is on it. Okay, and the school name, Excelsior Community College. And as I said, it's a first draft. You're going to get an opportunity to make corrections, and then you upload the final draft. Okay, and then and that's graded. So the drafts are graded. Between the essay and the sentence outline drafts, they value 10 marks. Okay, and I usually automatically give you the 10 marks, providing that you do good work. All right, and that you upload things on time. And I actually see that you sent me a paper that was reviewed by Margaret, things like that, because some persons have done that already. I need to see that you have reached out to her and that she has actually given you track changes of how to improve your outline. I think I said it last night in the other lecture that she is a little bit harsh in terms of when she's critiquing her paper. I don't always agree with how she agree with her analysis or assessment in terms of, you know, how the topic sentences should be arranged or so forth. I know that she and everybody else noted Miss Bartley, and sorry to hear, we don't always agree in terms of how she approaches academic writing versus other lecturers. Nothing is wrong with that. That's part of why it's called the academy. People have different perspective, but I need for you to show me evidence that she has peer reviewed your work, okay? Peer reviewed your sentence outline. All right. So, and as I said before, she can be quiet. She's very nice and charming when she's lecturing, but when she gets her paper, it's as if she turns into a different person. Okay. Critical, but constructive criticism. So this is where you go to upload your assignment. All right. So if I want to know who uploads, all I need to do is to click on students. Notice I have my student list here. So I know all of the persons who have actually signed up for Turnitin. And here I have your email address. It actually tells me which email address you're using. Okay. The other thing is, let me show you, or let me send you the link. So uploading an assignment to Turnitin. Okay, it's actually no, I don't need 6 minutes. Right, I just need 2 minutes. People with ADHD. All right, no, this is not the link. Save 10 hours studying with this Chrome extension, but no, all right, so let me post it in the chat first. Oh no, I need to log into my other WhatsApp number. All right, give me 1 sec, guys. This is SC, yeah. All right, so let's actually watch the recording of how to submit an assignment on Turnitin.
This training video will take a student through submitting a paper to an assignment that has been set up by their instructor. First, you want to go to your My Classes page. You'll click on the class name that you want to have the paper submitted to. You'll find your assignment there set up by your instructor. Click on the Submit icon. That will take you to the page where you'll be able to submit your paper. Your first and last name will automatically update into the system. You'll be able to put the title of your paper into the box, and then go down and click on Browse, find the file on your computer, and we're basically taking Microsoft Word files, text files, RTF files, PDF files, and the other files that we select. They're already here listed, and then click on Upload. That will then check your paper to make sure it's compatible with the system. You're then going to be taken to a preview page. This is where you'll see the text from the file that you're uploading. You want to check to make sure that all the file is there. When you are satisfied that that's the file you want to upload, click on Submit. That will then send the file to the system. Once it's been successfully submitted, you will see the message saying your submission was successful. This is the digital receipt for your paper. You will see the paper ID number here. It's always a good idea to either print this page out or write down the paper ID number. That's your confirmation the paper was submitted. You will also see the text from your file. You can then go to the portfolio page, and that will take you back to your English class that you're in. You'll see the paper, and you'll actually click on the Show Details listing to actually see your paper's been submitted, and in this case, the originality report has already been completed.
All right, so it's not very difficult to submit your paper. Just follow the instruction, instructions, and you will be able to submit your paper. And as I said before, it's important that you identify the person in the group who's going to upload the paper to Turnitin, okay? So everybody can't upload. Only one person from each group will upload, okay? Next week, I'm going to teach you how to do a TED Talk. So what you're really going to do now is convert your sentence outline into a TED Talk, which is just 3 to 5 minutes in length, and you upload it to your YouTube channel, and then you share the link with me and you get that grade, okay? Any questions?
So far, so good, sir.
So far, so good? Okay. All right. So today I'm going to.
Question, sir. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead. No,
What
go
is
ahead.
the cutoff time for the upload on Saturday?
Let me see.
11:59.
Let me see what Turnitin. Did I put it at that? Yeah, 11:59.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
that's it.
And you know, you have some persons, you tell them 11:59, and at 12 o'clock, they're saying, sir, my internet went. Come, as I tell you guys, do not bring your cock and bull story to me. I don't buy those stories, okay? You don't wait until last minute, okay? All right. At least you kind of get used to me by now. So, you know, I'm not going to accept those kind of ridiculous stories.
Excuse me, sir. What's the date for the upload?
The 15th.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so you have, so in other words, I'm going to see it next week, Thursday, before you upload the Saturday. Okay, so I would have looked at it probably if you show me on Tuesday, make comments, you go and fix, make comments, and you show me on Thursday, make comments, and you go and fix. Okay, and then you upload. And it's the first draft is, as I said, the drafts are graded. So your sentence outline drafts and your essay drafts are graded. Okay, as I indicated in the email that I sent about course update. All right, yeah, I think that's about it. Let's now get into the lecture about finding information or sourcing information. This is what I want. All right, so this is a lecture, a PowerPoint presentation that was created by a colleague of mine at the University of the West Indies when I was teaching academic writing, how we did the course and how the course is still being done is that one person prepares the lecture for each week and we all use the same lecture. So in this case, this was prepared by the librarian, and what the librarian is doing in this lecture is helping you to use online systems to access sources that you can use in your documented paper, in your sentence outline, as well as in your essay. All right. So we are seeing, what are we seeing here? What are we seeing in terms of this image?
It looks like an egg.
Looks like an egg, yeah. Anything else? Are we seeing anything else?
So, like she said, it looked like an egg, but where the yellow part is, it basically showing you the main places that you can go to get good information, and then the outer part can show you like probably other places, but not based on how I'm looking at it. The yellow part looks like the main places that you can get good information from.
Okay. Okay. So I would agree that the yolk, quote unquote yolk, has sources that are considered to be more credible than the ones that are outside, but than most of the ones that are outside. So journal articles are usually peer-reviewed, so by other experts in the area. Book chapter, depending of course on the nature of the book and who has written the book. Newspaper story, depending on the type of newspaper. So if, for example, it is the Gleaner or the Observer, then you can cite it in your paper. But of course, if it's the Jamaica Star, then you can't cite it because the Jamaica Star is considered a tabloid. A dissertation is something written by someone who has pursued either a master's or a PhD. You can read a dissertation and it's usually considered unpublished works and things like that. And of course, you have magazine article. Of course, there are credible magazine articles, and ebook, everything is online now. So I wouldn't even say ebook because you do have physical books, but most persons know when they're writing their papers, when they're doing research and so forth, most things they access online, especially within a COVID pandemic that is going beyond 2 years. So there are other types of sources you can cite from a tweet, from Facebook, not from Wikipedia, not considered credible, but of course it can give you, Wikipedia can be a platform that you use to get to credible sources. And they give you all other things, government reports, sorry, and other types of media related sources. So let us say that these are your broad topics. What we are focusing on for today is types of information sources. And as you see here, they're showing you books, magazine, newspapers, and so forth, because there are various types of information sources. And when you're participating in the research process, or what is considered to be, in your case, the writing process, you go through a series of steps, or you participate in a series of steps before you actually complete the assignment, once it's an academic one. So we have two main types of sources, what are considered to be published works and unpublished works. And these are the examples of published works. Published works are that which was printed by a publishing house or some sort of, by a publishing house or some sort of media house. So journals, newspapers, and so forth, all right? And not just printed, but of course that is produced, because audiovisual is also considered published work, whether it be a video or an audio or an audiovisual, like a movie or whatever it is. These are examples of published works, and you usually use dictionaries and encyclopedias to define certain complex terms. Although I always say to students that in almost every discipline, there is something called a handbook. So you might have a handbook of accounting, handbook of supply chain management, handbook of psychology, and those particular, the handbook of the discipline usually has all the foundational information and even contemporary information and even definitions. So in many instances, you don't necessarily need to go to like a Webster's dictionary. If you're a medical doctor, you're writing a paper that is medical related, it's best to define from a medical dictionary instead of just a normal dictionary. All right. Textbooks, we know about textbooks and why we, for example, use textbooks. So one, they put the topic in context with other important issues. Sometimes the textbooks give you both foundational and contemporary information. And as it says here, there are times when it actually updates you about the various debates that are happening in the discipline. There are times when it can give you a summation of what is happening or on a particular research area of interest. All right. Sorry. Journals, it's important that the emphasis here must be placed on academic journals, not just because you do have non-academic journals. So journals are usually released, for example, most academic journals is quarterly. So every 4 months or every 3 months, you get a publication. And academic journals usually reflect or they collect current research and debates on different areas. So even relating to COVID, you will hear persons refer into a study out of Brazil relating to the COVID variant or a new variant, because they are able to access the data because it was published in a journal. And articles that are published in journals are peer reviewed by other experts. So there's a certain amount of scrutiny before the information is published, okay? Because academic journals are one of the many ways in which the world and other and how the world is kept abreast on different subject matter, all right, by other experts or by experts generally. And here are two examples of journals in the Caribbean. There are times when journals have the word journal in them for you to know that it is a journal, but there are times when the word journal is not there. That doesn't mean that it's not a journal. Sorry. Usually journal, when you're citing from a journal article, oftentimes the journal article itself will tell you how to cite the information. They usually do that. All right. And here, and as I was talking about scholarly journals versus popular journals or popular magazines, and you need to make a distinction between the two. All right. As I was cautioning before, use only peer-reviewed scholarly journals for articles, and you must question whether or not the information is reliable, current, authoritative, accurate, and appropriate. Sorry. And part of what makes it very current is the fact that it has been published within the last 7 to 10 years. Another thing that I look at is whether or not the authors are credible. Do they have the authority to write on the subject matter? All right. If I'm going too fast, you can stop me, okay? Databases. Does anybody have any database at your workplace that you guys have access to? It's not a rhetorical question, people.
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
No?
Good evening.
Evening. No database at any of the workplaces?
No, sir, not that I am aware of.
Not that you're aware of, okay. All right, so these are various databases for research, primarily for research. So let me show you an example. Yesterday I was trying to, in my other class, I was trying to use ECC. Let's see if I actually had to send an email to see if their website, if the library part was working. Let's see if the library is working today. So you would go to library. Let's hope we're not still getting an error. You'd click, oh, wow, it's working today. Good thing I sent my email. So this is ECC's library, right? And it says click here to access our e-resources. So this is where, so here they have ProQuest. ProQuest is one of them. here, I don't know that I can, let's see if we can click on business com and see if what resources the library has for business communication. Let's just try an experiment. All right, so here they are telling you what the kinds of books or resources they have relating to administrative communication. I think these are just test papers or past papers or something like that. Let's click on one and see what happens. I've never really had to use the library, but I clicked on this thing. All right, so, and they're telling it's available. All right, let's go back now and see if so click, this is where you would access the databases. All right, so they have ProQuest, EBSCO, Springer, Sage. Sorry, let's hope these things work. Click on it, let's see if what happens. All right, you'd have to type in your ID number. Enter your email that is assigned to you by your library. Oh. All right, so you guys would have to do this part. All right, I'm going to use UA's thing and show you. I'm going to use my Nevis account. Well, hopefully it hasn't changed his password. Okay, I'll continue. It's going to take me there, and then I do this again. Right, so I'm in my Nevis. No. Oh no, then I can't access the library from this, and I'm realizing that I can't access it from this end. If my Nevis ever know that I'm doing this. UA library. All right, so you go to UA library, and you'll also see they should have something similar to ours as well in terms of the database systems. So when they say resources or electronic databases, let's see which ones they have. So they have EBSCO as well. So these are the platforms that you use these particular database systems to access journal articles and all of that, all right? And of course, you'd have to be a student at UWI to access this. Everybody understands that? Are we understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Newspapers, as I said before, newspapers can be used in terms of citing information or getting information. Just ensure that the newspaper, if it's local, it's not the Star, and just ensure that you are accurately citing from the newspaper source. All right. I think I also mentioned that, sorry, many times if you are, give me a sec. Give me a sec, guys. I think I need to drink some something. Hold on. Yes, I'm making some tea because I'm coughing a little bit too much. Right. So we're saying that newspaper is one of the types of sources that you should cite in your paper. You also have what are called government publications, and if you go on any ministry of one of the ministry's websites, you will see things like annual reports. You will see legislations that are specific to them, statutes. And acts, I'm not sure what's the difference, because usually the statutes are the laws and the acts are the laws. I'm not sure what's the difference between them. However, these things are very important, especially the annual reports. You'll hear in many of the corruption cases, you'll hear people talk about what was in the annual report or what was not in the annual report. It gives people a sense of what is happening, or it gives them an insight into the company. So you can cite from annual reports. And I mean generally, not for my paper, but generally. Also, other types of sources are audiovisual media. And of course, this is dated like DVDs, CDs, and so forth. But depending on what you're looking at, especially if you are doing a PhD, there are times when you have to go all the way back, and the information that you want is on a CD or on DVDs. They're not very popular now, but when you're a researcher, you actually don't destroy these things. Sometimes people go to your house and say, why do you have so many books? Or why do you have these things? Why do you have that? Not understanding the nature of your work. That if you're an academic, if you do research, publications, and so forth, then you archive these kinds of things because they are necessary if you are a researcher. Online sources, we said this again, especially within a COVID environment, almost all sources now have been transitioned to an online platform, all right? Unpublished works. Well, unpublished works just means that it is not out in the public domain in an official way. For example, my master's thesis is not available to the public because it's not published. People who have done their PhD dissertations, they are considered unpublished works. Many books that you see coming out, especially academic books, they are actually coming out of people's PhD dissertations. All right, reports, there are many reports that are written and they might be very internal. So you might have internal reports, they're unpublished. And you'll find, let's say an instance with like the Auditor General might say, okay, I need access to these reports because they too provide insight and they can give you a lot of information. All right, email. How email becomes unpublished work is you might be doing a research and you need to interview somebody who lives in Timbuktu, and Timbuktu is actually a country. The person is thousands of miles away. You can send them an email, a series of questions, and they answer the questions via email, and that become also a source. Not for your paper, though. I'm just talking about it generally, okay? You haven't earned it. You haven't earned that yet. Human sources, again, you can interview people to get data from them, and many researchers, this is how they're carried out. They're called primary research, where they actually go to the persons who are affected by the phenomenon. All right, so if you're looking at how teenage pregnancy affects the academic success of girls and boys in schools, of course, you're going to interview girls and boys, and they become human sources. All right. I mentioned about dissertations and theses, in that these things are most times available in a library, and you can go to the library and request permission, okay? Gray literature, as it says, information that is not available through the normal book selling channels, such as reports. And the best example of gray literature is conference papers. Not sure how many of you guys have participated in a conference. I've been participated in several conferences, and it's out of the conference that I actually got my paper. And of course, this is just talking. Yes.
Sorry. Could you go back to the previous slide before gray literature? The other one. Yes, sir. This, please.
Okay.
No.
I hope you're not writing.
No, man, just a screenshot. Just taking a screenshot.
Okay. When it says for the retrieval of information, again, this is just online. This is a caution, word of caution, in that Google is not a source. Google is really a platform, or let's say an online platform for you to access credible information, okay? In the case of, we just went on ECC's website, so you would use the same kind of information to log in. All right, the other thing I want to teach you about this let's actually look at it in practicality. Okay. So there are two platforms that you can use to get information. Where is my, okay. So I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with academia.edu.
Sorry, you mentioned it before.
Right. So on academia.edu, you can access a lot of information. All right. You just need to create an account. So this is my account. This is my account. I think this is when I look like a prisoner. Years ago, I created this account. This is one of my papers. It tells you how many readers and how many papers are similar to yours, how many people viewed the paper, which means that they looked at the title, but they never necessarily clicked on it. This paper has been read by 280 people. There are 23 similar paper. And then they tell you this one as well, that paper on Tamale, 35 readers. So if somebody's interested in Jamaican culture, they can go here and read. Let us say that you are writing a paper about the benefits of, let's say benefits of artificial intelligence to law enforcement. Let's see what comes up. Am I spelling this? Law enforcement. Let's click. It's gonna there. So artificial and law enforcement, you're going to see you have 17,143 paper titles. So there are so many papers from which you can choose, right? All you need to do is to click on it to ensure that it is current. So this is 94, it might not be good. 1986 might not be good, but here's a 2021 paper, right? So you look at things like that to see if the papers are current. You can also limit it in terms of, so I would probably just say English because I'm only interested in English papers to prevent the other papers that are not in English from coming up. I don't know why they're telling me this. They probably want me to pay in order to not see all the other papers. All right, so any subject matter that you're writing on, you can use academia.edu to get information. The other one that I know of is Google Scholar. I have mentioned it before. Google Scholar. You click on Google Scholar, and again, you can look at benefits. You just type in benefits of artificial intelligence in law enforcement. Let's see what comes up. Usually I say to persons, if you click here, sometimes you're not going to, you probably don't get inside of the book, or you might get just a part of the book. You're not able to access this. What I normally do, I look here for PDFs, because usually the PDFs are, you can access the PDFs. You look at this, you look to see if it's current. Yes, it's current. It's in 2020. In 2020, you see they show you how to cite it. This is actually look like a journal. It's actually a journal. This is actually a journal. A journal article. And so you can use Google Scholar as well in order to access sources. Okay. ResearchGate is there as well, but I don't know that ResearchGate sometimes can be quite difficult. They usually sometimes they want you to pay. They tell you join for free. Yeah, you join for free, but you're not able to actually access the information. I've signed up this crap before. I'm not going to sign it up today again. So that's another one. Okay. Any questions? Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to leave. Right, so those are the, so most of the times you just need to go to the library, ECCU library webpage to get access to some of the databases, okay? The other thing is there another thing? All right, so do I do thesis outline? I did that already. Oh, let's do the thesis outline. Oh, let me just give you a reminder about something that for your sentence outline, you need to have 46 sources. One source must come from an authored web page. One must be from a book or edited book or book chapter, whichever one. One is a book, newspaper article, and one can be a journal article. Okay, and then the other two sources can be anything. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you must have four. So when I look at your sentence outline, when I look at the reference list on your sentence outline, I must see at least one example of this, one example of each. And I must see one example of integral citation and one example of non-integral citation. I must also see one example of paraphrase, one example of summary, and one example of direct quotation. Okay. The other thing is,
Sir, I think you were moving too fast a while ago.
Yes, sir. That was very fine.
well, this is actually not new information, but let me repeat it. Let me share my screen. So I'm saying in your sentence outline, you must have one source that is an authored web page, must have one that is a journal, must have one that is a newspaper, and one that must be from a book. Clear?
Yes, sir.
The other thing is that in your paper, you must have one example of paraphrase, one example of summary, and one example of direct quotation. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And finally, you must have one example of integral citation and you must have one example of non-integral citation. Is that clear?
Very.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all I was saying at that point in time. All right, let's take a 10 minutes break. I need to drink something, okay? 10 minutes break and then we get back to the lecture.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right, sorry guys, I took up a call with the Mrs. Jacobs. The other thing, and I'm recovering, I think I got the Omicron. So the worst part has passed, which is the severe sore throat that I had. No, it's the coughing and the running a nose kind of thing. Yeah, so I said no. The other thing that I want to go through is the sentence outline, just as a way to kind of refresh your recollection in terms of some of the areas. But let me ask you this: do you have anything that you want to show me? You have an outline you want me to look at, or do we do the lecture first and then probably you go home, make some changes, and then you come back next week and show me something?
The last option, sir.
Okay, all right. So
you would have shared with you, don't it, sir?
yeah, some persons would have shared with me already, but I'm going to do this lecture. Sometimes, you know, when you repeat some information, you guys might see something different, okay? Or might hear something different or learn something different. So let's go through the lecture then. Let me go back to, was this the one I was looking at? No, this is not where I wanted to go. Did I cancel that thing that I was looking at? My God. Recent open. This is what I have open, vision and edit. Let's see. No. I have this. Right. All right, so let's do both of them. Like, no, this is the. Let's do this. All right, so remember the outline has my general structure. Let me give you my general structure of the whiteboard, a general structure of your outline, right? You see my whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my whiteboard, I learn how to, so you have, this is a general structure of your outline, right? So you have the broad topic, and you write your broad topic. Then under that, you have your research question, preferably a research question instead of your, then under that, you're going to have your introduction. Then first topic sentence with A to D supporting points. Second topic, all I need to do is just copy and paste this. Let's read. Then you repeat. Third topic sentence with A to D supporting points. Then you have your conclusion. That's not conclusion. Then you have your references. So we have broad topic research question, introduction, topic sentence 1 with the ABCD, topic sentence 2 ABCD, topic sentence 3 ABCD, conclusion, references. Okay, let me save this and post it in the WhatsApp group. Let me see the WhatsApp group. Okay, this is SC. All right, tell me if you're seeing it in the WhatsApp group, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So this is the general structure of your sentence outline. Let's look at an actual physical example. And I'm doing all of this before I actually get into the lecture.
But sir, why have A to D and it's supposed to be A to C? Is 3 supporting evidence?
You can
and
have
A would, if you have 4 points, it will be one of them is a definition from a source.
Yeah, you can do it that way, okay? But you can have 4 pieces of supporting evidence as well if you want. Okay. The other thing is outline. Where am I? Oh, physical examples of outline. Let's go. Come on. 2021. to sample outlines. Let's look at this one. Okay. Let's share screen. Okay. Where is it? So broad topic, research question, introduction. Notice the introduction. You don't need the word introduction. Topic sentence 1, A, B, C, D. Topic sentence 2, A, B, C, D. Topic sentence 3, A, B, C, D. Conclusion, and then boom, reference list. This is the structure. Okay. How many sources? Let me see how many sources you use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 46 sources. All right. Yeah. Any questions?
Sir, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I realize that the A, B, C, them look like a paragraph. Sir.
Because the person uses more than one sentence for the supporting evidence.
Okay.
So sorry, you're all right with 3 sentences, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just confirming the supporting evidences A, B, C to D are paragraphs on their own or just sentences to support the topic sentence.
They have to prove the topic sentence.
Also, it's not necessarily paragraphs on their own. It's just the
No, it cannot be a paragraph on its own. Remember,
Okay.
you're not writing a paragraph. You're writing an outline. I haven't taught you how to write a body paragraph yet, deliberately so. Okay. So the important thing to note, I think one of the biggest challenges for students is always writing a very good introduction. All right, and the introduction takes a general structure. You open with a general statement that to some extent reflects your broad topic, and then you go into your narrow topic, which helps know the reader to understand the context of the paper. And then, of course, you have your thesis with your subclaims. All right, that's your introduction. That's your general structure. It's important for you to note, I think the other thing I'd mention about the introduction, or I need to mention about the introduction, is how to start the introduction. That's another important thing. If I can, I think, where did I put it? I think here. No, not here. Right. The other, as I said before, the other important thing to note is how to start your introduction. That's very, very critical. How to start your introduction. Let me. Next slide. Why is it done like this? How did I do it? Okay. Do I do it like this? Would it work? I'm trying something, guys. Let's see if it works. My experiment. Okay, it worked. Right. So there's a particular, it's an inverted triangle for your introduction. The important thing to note in your introduction is how you actually begin your introduction. All right, that's very critical. How you actually begin the introduction. Whether it be direct quote, brief statistics, definition, famous quote, whatever it is.
Are you sharing something, sir?
The
screen blank.
Oh, my screen is blank? Okay, hold on. Yeah, I was doing an experiment a while ago. It worked. So let's put it here. Yeah, so I was saying before that the structure of your introduction looks like this. It's an inverted triangle, right? With the general statement, a general opening that really speaks to the broad topic for the most part. And then, of course, the other 2 to 3 background sentences help the reader to understand the narrow topic. And then you have your thesis with your subclaims. Remember, I did say to you that your thesis the way you write your thesis at the end of your introduction is not necessarily how you had written it originally, okay? The other important thing to note with your introduction is, let me see something here. I'm experimenting, guys. Hold on one sec. Okay, the other important thing to note is after you have the opening sentence or sentences for your introduction, for your opening of your introduction, then you need to have your background sentences. And this is where a lot of persons are struggling. You're struggling to get to write background sentences. And remember, the background sentences are just about your narrow topic. All right, or about your research question. That's really what it is about. I think some persons are being pulled in different directions. So when I read your introduction, it's all over the place. Remember that your introduction should only have one citation, no more than one. The other thing is, and this is an example, over the last decade, Jamaica has welcomed more than 20 national, I don't want this one. Let's delete this. This slide should not be there. Oh, so here's an introduction. So providing context, this is the introduction. Let me see, some areas included our overall waiting time. So what would be good is for us to know what the actual narrow topic is. What would be the broad topic? So the person starts out with a definition from the World Health Organization. Purports that health system strengthening is everybody's business. Where you see the red, what they're saying here, what is being indicated here is where the student's voice come into the paper, where the students now is making a direct connection between what is said by the source and their own perspective on the subject matter. It could be that they're disagreeing. So purports that health system strengthening is everybody's business. However, over the health system services provided at public hospitals in Jamaica has deteriorated. In other words, the opening is a contrast between what is purported by the World Health Organization and what exists in Jamaica healthcare system or Jamaica public hospitals. All right. And of course, the person continues with a direct quote from the World Health Organization. And I always say to students that always have a leading sentence to your thesis. So let us say that your sentence, your research question is about like, what are the roles of loan lending software to banks? The leading sentence would be something like speaking to something relating to roles, and then your thesis might say these roles include, or these roles are, or some of the roles are, something like that. So you have a kind of leading sentence to your thesis. So this, I know persons are struggling a bit with your introduction. The other, there's another example that is a good introduction that I don't want to just jump from it like this. I know we have looked at this a number of times, but let's put it here. This is another example of a good introduction, and notice it's not very long. When, for example, you open your introduction, especially if you open it with some sort of citation, it's important to analyze the source. In other words, when this says this report attests to the fact that it is the writer is indicating or is making a connection between what is said by the source and their narrow topic about measures that have been implemented to reduce child abuse. That's very, very important that however you open your introduction, the opening sentence or sentences should not be left hanging. Many times that's what I'm seeing in your introduction. So you start one particular way and then you're going somewhere else. Also, do not make recommendations in your introduction, right? Your introduction is really to help the reader understand either the narrow topic or your research question. That's what the introduction really is about. And I think that's what some of you guys, you're struggling with, all right? Any questions relating to introduction?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So these are examples of inadequate introduction. In other words, we don't get a general sense of what the paper is about in terms of the context. According to Longman Dictionary, health is a general condition of your body. First of all, you can't be using personal pronouns such as you and your and we and us. Okay. There's no particular context provided here, and the person rushes to the thesis. The health system in Jamaica lacks many components such as provisions for an epidemic, competent nurses and resources for various searches. So the person rushes to the thesis statement but does not provide enough background for the reader to understand the narrow topic or the research question. The second one, is health a disease, a condition, or based on diet or fitness? First of all, you're not supposed to start your introduction with a question or start opening it as a question. This source is very dated, 1946, according to the International Health Conference. This conference happened decades ago, which means that whatever definition or whatever was stated there might have changed. And again, enough context is not there. So the thesis, the rush to the thesis again, the Jamaica public health care sector is plagued with a lack of preparedness and insufficient education on the Ebola disease and ill-equipped safety measures. So these introductions are a bit inadequate. So providing context, the introductory components and devices. So relevant background information, pertinent statistics, provocative, no, not question, appropriate quotation, appropriate use of analogy and definition of important terms are ways of how you can actually write a very good introduction. Let's look at this introduction and try to determine how the person has started the introduction and how have they helped us to understand or provide context for the narrow topic and our research question. So the broad topic is technology and education, and the research question is how can computers enhance teaching methodologies in Jamaican secondary schools. The Jamaican education system, with its myriad of challenges, is one which is constantly being revamped in order to produce worthwhile citizens who can contribute meaningfully to economic and social development. Can you tell me what kind of start is this? How has the person started this introduction?
Sir, an opinion?
Yes, it's an opinion, right? It's one which is constantly being revamped in order to produce worthwhile citizens who contribute meaningfully to economic and social development. Yeah, it's an opinion, right? So we know that, so how can computers enhance teaching methodologies in Jamaican secondary schools? Teaching methodologies just means teaching approaches. That's really what methodologies mean. So let's look at what is said in the background to see if it helps us to understand the paper a little better. With continued worrying trends of less than half of the students who leave secondary schools attaining 4 or more C6 subjects, there have been consistent calls to address weaknesses such as mode of delivery in the system. Mode of delivery is the same thing as methodology. Realizing that technology is impacting every facet of society, the Ministry of Education and Youth and partners such as the Jamaica Computer Society for Education have embarked on ventures such as e-learning project and the EdTech 2020 project to make computers available to schools and train and encourage teachers to use them to make learning more meaningfully relevant to students. According to Ying, information technology can serve as a catalyst and vehicle for arriving at solutions to important endemic problems in the education system. Do we get a sense that the paper gets some amount of context relating to how computers can improve how computers can actually improve teaching in Jamaican schools? I'll make the assumption that you're taking some time to read the introduction for yourself.
Sir, what was the question? I got distracted. I was doing something a while ago. What was the question, sir?
What is wrong with this young man? You mean that you're doing your own thing and then you're going to ask me to repeat?
No, sir. When I look for my son just for a minute, that the something
Right.
a while ago.
Right. So you can't fault me for that.
No, man, I was just asking what was the question. When I believe it, just ask what was the question.
I should not be talking, sir, and I'm trying to listen. You're asking me to repeat. All I'm asking you is, do you see background sentences that help you to understand how computers can assist in teaching in secondary schools in Jamaica? And you have to literally read it for yourself in order to answer that question. Okay, everybody's silent. Do you understand my question?
Yes, sir. I actually see some points where give us they tell us say having computers and stuff like that will help teaching. I actually see that.
Right. So when I read your introduction, I should get a sense that you're providing some amount of context for your research question or your narrow topic. That's what is important. Again, I say that I'm seeing some introductions that are going all over the map. All right, so be careful. And I think this is why for some of you, you're struggling. All right, so I'm hoping that by doing this exercise, it will help you to write better introductions. So this says provide a context for these thesis statements. Let's try one. You guys don't know about you the popularity. Let's look at this one. Let's say that this is our thesis. I need a new slide. New slide. All right, where's that slide? All right, so new slide. Let's take this out. Usually that's what they do in order to, right? No, this is not what I want. All right, so let's paste this here. No, I don't want that. All right, so let's paste this here. And let me get rid of the top part, which is this. Okay, and let me go like this. All right, so let's try and see if we can provide context for this. Let's see the thesis and see if we can get a sense of what the broad topic is. The popularity of road races in today's Jamaica derives from their use of fundraisers for worthwhile causes, the success of Jamaican athletes on the world stage, the promotion of healthy lifestyle by private and public sector groups. All right, we can take out one of the claims because they have 4. We don't need 4. Do you realize that they have 4 subclaims? So the popularity of road races in today's Jamaica derives from their use of fundraisers for worthwhile causes, the success of Jamaican athletes on the world stage, and public sector groups, and the social intercourse which they provide. All right, so let's take off the last one. All right, let's take off the last one and say, all right, do you understand the thesis? Do you understand this thesis? Answer me, guys. Do you understand the thesis?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right, so the popularity of road races. So let's underline this or highlight this word. So the paper is focused on road races, right?
You know what road races are?
Like Sagi of them road race to earn money for different organizations.
Or like stigma run.
Stigma run. Right. All right. Good. All right. Good. So what they're saying, this paper is looking at popularity derives from their use of. So it seems as if they probably the research question is, I'm assuming, is what are the benefits? That's not benefits of road races to Jamaica. It looks like that's what it is, right? That's what it looks like. This seems to be the can you scope some more? Yeah. So this, I think this is our research question, right? So no, so this is our thesis. So what they're saying, the popularity of road races in Jamaica derives from their use of fundraisers for a worthwhile cause. This is one. So use of as fundraisers for work, that's one subclaim. Success of Jamaican athletes. This is the second. What the success of Jamaican athletes on world stage, and the third claim is it's the promotion of healthy lifestyles by private and public sector. Okay, all right. So how could we start this? How could we open this introduction based on this thesis and based on what we know our research question is? What are the benefits of road races to Jamaica? How would you start it? Hello, guys, I'm listening. What would be our opening sentence? What could be our opening sentence? I have 27 students and nobody's saying anything.
So, sir, could I start with an opinion of what you think about the thesis?
And what is the opinion? And the opinion cannot be about the thesis. Remember, the introduction is about the paper, not the thesis.
Okay.
Let's say the broad topic, I think, could be, now we don't have to write a broad topic. So it could be something like over 25 road races take place in Jamaica annually.
Sorry, but that would be statistics. That would be an opinion because you have numbers.
I never tell you I'm starting with an opinion. You said an opinion, but you never gave me the opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to give me the opinion. You have to give me the sentence that you want me to write. I'm starting it the way I want to start it. So I might start by saying over 25 road races take place in Jamaica annually. And then I might shift to a definition. Road races are special events. How would you, let me just look up quickly, Google a definition of this thing. Road races, define. Oh, let's define. Yeah, define road races. Wikipedia, don't quote from Wikipedia, the form of motorsport racing held over paved road service. Okay, I don't know that definition. Let me make something a little bit more meaningful. Race which course follows one or more roads on trails rather than on track. Okay. All right, so road races are special events or special races, we can say special races that involve the movement of people over a, no, not over, along a road or several roads. This is our special of a road or several roads the movement of people. Is it movement or the running? Yeah, let's say movement of people along a road or several roads for a period of time. And I'm going to make up a source. Let's say it is Blacksmith. Let's say it's Black and Smith. 2020. So I might make it up and say, so over 25 road races take place in Jamaica annually. Road races are special events, special races that involve the movement of people along a road or several roads for a period of time. Then now I want to pivot now to my narrow topic because I'm trying to give a context in terms of the benefits of road races.
Oh, sir, you started your introduction with a definition. That's correct.
If what?
You started your introduction with definition.
My opening sentence, well, you can say that my opening is a definition plus statistics. So because I said over 25 road races take place in Jamaica annually, and then I define road races. I could have switched it around, but I deliberately didn't want to do that.
But it doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter. Okay. But remember, no, you can't define terms that people already know the meaning of. So don't just go and arbitrarily start your introduction with a definition when the term that you might be defining, everybody knows the meaning of it. So let's just say, for example, if you define the word athlete for me as the beginning of your introduction, I would probably give I'd probably fail the paper because you're insulting my intelligence because they all know the definition of an athlete. So I'm just saying that you define terms that are important that you think that will actually help the reader understand the paper. So I have my opening here now. So now I need to provide some amount of context for my readers. My thesis says the popularity of road races in today's Jamaica derives from their use of. So clearly I want to give now some amount of background of road races in Jamaica, right? Because even in my thesis, it says the popularity of road races in today's Jamaica derives from there, and it gives you why it is so popular. Are we getting a sense now in terms of the approach to writing the introduction?
Yes, sir.
So let's see 3 sentences. So road races are special races that involve the movement of people along. Okay. These events are cause, let's say these sports, let's say sports related events are, did I say usually done? I might change this. I'm just making something. For a cause such as the Sigma run. Give me another one. And the give me another road race that is done in Jamaica.
Breast cancer, sir.
The breast cancer run.
And I think they did it for prostate as well.
All right. And prostate.
I think endometriosis too.
And breast cancer runs. Let's say breast cancer runs. because of their meaningful contribution to research, funding, and support, they have become extremely popular among Jamaicans in and outside of the country. Let's see if this works. All right, let's see if it works. Popularity of internet derives from their use of all right, so let's reread this thing now. So over 25 road races take place in Jamaica annually. Road races are special races that involve the movement of people along a road or several roads for a period of time. These sports-related events are usually done for a cause, so usually and usually, I know I said it before, are usually done for a cause such as, usually done for a cause. These sports, so I should have put, let's put this, let's take this out here and see if it can hold here.
The second sentence, sir, would you want to have it as road races are special events instead of repeating races?
Yeah, we could do that.
It is an event.
Yeah, we could say special event. That's what I was actually right, in order to not repeat. So these sports-related events, such as Sigma, are usually done for a cause. Because of their meaningful contribution to research, funding, and support, they have become extremely popular among Jamaicans in and outside of the country. The popularity of road races in today's Jamaica derives from their use as fundraisers for worthwhile causes, the success of Jamaican athletes on the world stage, the promotion of healthy lifestyles by private and public sector. Oh, this should be and the promotion. And the promotion of healthy lifestyles by private and public sector groups. It can work. Probably need some fixing, but it can work. Something like this in terms of your introduction.
Sir, this is so easy for you.
It's actually not very difficult to write an introduction. I think probably you're thinking too hard. The real writing comes when you have to write the body paragraph or when you have to write the supporting evidence. That's where I expect you to have greater challenge, but not necessarily at this stage. So that's the introduction. The other, this is another example of an introduction. I'm not going to read that. The other part now of the outline is this part, the topic sentence with the supporting evidence. So remember now, there I said to you that in terms of your topic sentences, and this is where Margaret and I we kind of differ in terms of how you write your topic sentences, because she doesn't feel like the topic sentence should really be repeated as how they sound in the introduction. That's not what my training tells me. That's how I was trained, so that's how I teach it.
Sir, that is so true.
And I think that is what threw us off with her critique of our paper, sir. Because we repeated it and she said not to repeat, and then we were a little bewildered, so we kind of out in the wilderness one day.
Yeah, I saw that, but it's not that she's wrong, it's just that she has a different approach. So for example, she doesn't believe that your sentence outline should have a conclusion. Some of us who also teach the subject, we differ. We don't share that view. Okay, so you should.
So me and my group was having the same issue as well, sir.
No,
But
repeat. But do the repeat of your topic sentences. That's how we have been teaching this course for a long time, and that's how we have been doing it.
sir, but in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you didn't need to tell me that, because at the end of the day, Margaret, now my paper.
I don't want you to look at it that way, though. I want you to look at it that it's just a matter of two academics not agreeing in terms of how to approach teaching this part. So I saw her comments and I was like, okay, I don't necessarily agree with the comments because, and I even reached out to some other colleagues and they don't necessarily agree. But of course, you know, colleagues don't want to be rubbing other colleagues the wrong way. Because it's not a fight, it's not a contest or a fight among us or between us. It's just a conversation and a difference of opinion in terms of the approach to teaching the sentence outline. So just do it exactly how I tell you to write your topic sentence. What she said in some of the papers that I agree with, though, is that the supporting evidence cannot all be saying the same things. So you have your topic sentence, and when I look at A, B, C is saying the same thing just in a different way. And you're not helping yourself if that's what you're doing. Okay, let's look at an example, because I don't think this is all right, let's look at this example. This is a topic sentence, and let's look at the evidence now. So careful use of computer applications by secondary schools in existing multi-level classrooms can enable meaningful reorganization of teaching and learning. So let's first of all understand the topic sentence. Careful use of computer application by secondary school teachers in existing multiple level classrooms can enable meaningful reorganization of teaching and learning. In other words, all they're saying is that computer applications, teachers in secondary school teachers can use computer applications to help them to organize their teaching and learning. That's really what it is saying. Remember I said no, that your supporting evidence either all need to answer how or all need to answer why. Remember I said that?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So let's see now if A is providing some amount of so careful use of So exploratory work aided by investigatory software can support the desired paradigm shift from teacher-centered to student-centered, breaking the monotony of traditional methods. Yes, it does, because what this is saying is that it's reorganizing teaching and learning. In other words, it is moving the teacher away from being the center of learning, putting the students at the center of learning. So one says the chalk and talk should be replaced by more investigative, hands-on and participatory work among children and teacher. This is doing that. 2, interactive technologies provide stimulating environments that encourage student involvement. So interactive technology is one computer application, which is very different from the investigatory software. So notice this is investigatory software. This is interactive technologies. So the two are not saying the same things. We see that? They're all providing support for the topic sentence, but they're not saying the same thing. If you look at even D says use computer sound devices. This is different. Investigatory software, interactive technologies, computer sound devices. Different. All providing support. Diverse computer stimulated information, such as PowerPoint. This again is different. So when I look at the supporting evidence, they need to be different. They can't be saying the same things in a different way. So in this case, this supporting piece of supporting evidence is looking at investigatory software. This supporting piece of evidence is looking at interactive technologies. This supporting piece of evidence is looking at computer stimulated information. And this supporting piece of evidence is looking at computer sound devices. So you need to look back at your pieces of evidence and ensure that they're providing support, but they are not echoing. It's not the same thing being said from A to B to C to D. And your sentence can be 1 or 2 sentences for your supporting evidence, for each piece of supporting evidence. It doesn't need to be 1 sentence. It can be 2 sentences or even 3 sentences. Okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions before I go?
Didn't even realize the time run off.
No question. Well, I'm hoping this would have provided some additional insights so that you can go back now and make some changes to your paper. Okay. I know I'm going to upload the recording, the recording, so but just give me some time. Okay, guys. Have a good night. If there are no more questions.
I'm trying to remember what you said was okay to repeat.
Your topic said repeat. You can repeat how it is said in your thesis statement. So one benefit of is da 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 da. One way of da da da. Just you can repeat it in your topic sentences.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Get better soon. And
Yeah,
use some Vicks.
All right, sir,
Use some
take
Vicks
care.
and try not to be under the AC vent because that can make a cough even more.
Well, I turn off my fan, but I have to have on my humidifier because cold country you're literally locked in, so you have to use it to create fresh air.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to use the humidifier as
Use
you start for.
mental related stuff like I don't know if you can get peppermint oil.
Yeah, probably that's what I need to do.
minty.
Yesterday I actually had to go on the road the other day. I should have bought some of those things to put in the actual water.
Yes, it does help.
Yeah, and I don't want to go on the road now because it's negative something, and once I see negative, I am not going through the door. All right, guys. See you next week, Tuesday.
All right, sir.
All right,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Take care.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, man. If once you apply for it before, it expires. And December, when in them send it over? Can work, man. All right, let me try and upload these recordings now because I'm really not good with my students. And I think yeah, you can have every minute they must send you different things for send to the students. No, I say no, but them have to use them own platforms. You can't become the public relations at the student union. That's insult to the work, the level of work that we have to do in the OMC. But me I tell him, you can work, man. Because they apply for another one. Applied for one under the new standard under my
Oh, so it would have been a positive result because that come back positive.